Hey guys, welcome to the 104th, that's right, the 104th edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential, and today we are talking about a character that a friend of mine actually suggested that I talk about, and I'm surprised I haven't talked about it yet. You see the picture and the title, and we are talking about Morgana Macabre. That's right, Morgana Macabre from DarkWing Duck. And I'm surprised that when they brought DarkWing into the DuckTales series, that especially in the final season, with them bringing in all these Disney Afternoon characters, I'm surprised they didn't bring Morgana in and make her kind of like a member of FOWL and maybe put her in the same position that they did Gandra, where basically she really didn't want to be part of FOWL, but she did it for certain reasons and stuff like that. And eventually, Gandra, we all predicted was going to turn good anyway, and she did. But Morgana, to me, I think would have fit that mold as well, but they didn't do that, and I'm assuming with the new DarkWing Duck series or movie that Seth Rogen or Seth Green is behind, I think they might bring her in then. But they might bring her in then. But we'll have to see. But yeah, Morgana is a character in the original DarkWing Duck that, of course, Morgana, let's be honest, DarkWing Duck was kind of a parody of superheroes and all that. We know that. We all know the history, that he's a parody of superheroes and that he's a superhero that does the right thing, but he has an ego, and sometimes he lets that ego get the best of him and all that. But of course, like I said, he's willing to do the right thing. He's willing to fight for justice and everything. He does meet up with someone that's like a Commissioner Gordon to him, but this person's the head of Shush, just like Nick Fury's the head of, S.H.I.E.L.D., or, like I was saying, like Nick Fury's the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that other place in outer space that's an extension of S.H.I.E.L.D. I can't think of the name right now. Let me know in the comments of what it is. I know it's blanking on me right now. But yeah, he would have someone to report to, when it came to that situation. And that was the head of Shush. So they had a lot. They had a lot of, superhero tropes that we're known to have seen and have been seen in Marvel and DC, like stories and stuff. And Morgana, in this case, since DarkWing Duck was kind of like a parody amalgamation of Darkman and Batman, if you will, Morgana kind of served, I guess you could say, like his Selina Kyle, his Catwoman, that we know, depending on the interpretation of the character, is an anti-hero. She's not good, but she's not bad. She's just anti. It's like, she'll still succumb to her vices of she has to steal things. Like she has to steal money. She has to steal jewelry. Stuff like that. She's kind of like Rouge, if you will. She's kind of like Rouge the Bat. Rouge is an anti-hero that, when the opportunity presents itself, will fall victim to her vices of stealing jewels. Wanting jewels to herself and stuff like that. So basically, that's kind of what Morgana falls into. That's the category she falls into, of being a character that's basically the Selina Kyle to DarkWing Duck's Drake Mallard, the Catwoman to DarkWing Duck. Basically the DarkWing Duck Catwoman to the DarkWing Duck, if you know what I mean. And she is an interesting character. She is definitely an interesting character. She has several times she has great moments in the series. She definitely has some great moments. She kind of serves at times, believe it or not. This is hard to follow, but she does serve at times. It's almost like a mentor, an unexpected mentor to Gosalyn, the original Gosalyn, because there's an episode that unfortunately is banned. It is unfortunately banned. You can't even find it on Disney Plus. I don't even know if you can find this other episode on Disney Plus either. But this is one of the episodes that's banned. But this episode kind of shows you that, Morgana serves somewhat as an unexpected surrogate mentor to Goslin, because Goslin tries to, I guess, do some magic or something like that. So yeah, Morgana serves that kind of purpose as well. She kind of falls in that category. But like I said, she's had some great moments besides, that episode. She's, of course, one of my personal favorites is Monsters or Us, where we get to see her family for the first time. It's really cool seeing that. She's, of course, fought alongside DarkWing on several occasions. She's fought alongside him as part of the Justice Ducks, which is basically a parody of the Justice League, the Avengers, if you will. And, again, she's had all these moments in there. And, sometimes she's even had some funny moments. I mean, there's one episode, I can't think of the episode name, where it's, at the end, it's towards the end, you get this climactic battle between DarkWing and Negaduck, and Morgana's helping out, and Morgana comes up with a spell. Well, she can come up with spells, she can come up with spells, just like that. And but of course, when it comes to counter spells, she's got to sometimes look it up. And in this case, she had to do it. Because what happens is, again, like I said, they're going up against Negaduck, and she looks at and Negaduck says something, and she's like, I think Negaduck introduces them to his machine that he's riding or he's controlling, and Morgana's like, okay, suck spell. Kind of, taking a page out of DarkWing's vocabulary when he says suck gas or suck this. She says suck spell, and basically what happens is Negaduck basically diverts the beam back out. He basically shields himself with his machine and diverts the spell back right at Morgana, and the spell turns Morgana into a freaking slug, and she's just stuck like that. And all of a sudden she turns into a slug, and then she just is like kind of like shocked, kind of like has this surprised look on her face, and then she just looks straight ahead and just slithers away, slugs away, if you will, like, well, I'm a slug now, whoop-de-doo, I'm out of here. And it's during the battle that, Negaduck points out to DarkWing what happened to her, and we see, Morgana using her eyes, her slug eyes now, to turn the pages of a spell book, going like, oh, no, that's not it. She's trying to find a counter spell to turn her back, and eventually she does. But yeah, she's had some good moments in the show. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of people actually like the character. They actually like her. I mean, I think, honestly, she's one of those characters that after her first few appearances, if not her initial appearance, she just became a fan favorite. And I think Disney, the creators behind the show, knew that they needed to basically take this character and make her into a good girl, at least an anti-hero, if you will, that would fight alongside DarkWing when the time was right. And yeah, she pretty much does that. Now, as far as her future goes in Darkwing Duck, like let's say with the reboot and everything by, again, I don't know if it's Seth Rogen or Seth Green, it's one of them. If she is brought back in to this series, if it's going to be a series or just a movie, then I think they got to potentially go all out with this character. I mean, if they're going to still make her like the Selena Kyle to Drake Mallard, if you will, to basically the Catwoman to Darkwing Duck, the anti-hero, then they need to go all out with her. They need to go all out. And if she's going to be someone that has spells that she's going to be able to basically conjure up whenever, then you need to go crazy with that. In my opinion, you need to go crazy with that. And honestly, I think you need to get trippy and psychedelic with the character. And I'm not saying turn her into a hippie or anything like that. No, I'm talking basically, have a moment, in an episode, if it's going to be a series or a scene throughout in the movie, where it's just things get crazy and weird, things happen to the characters to where it's like they change shape into different things or whatever. Go all out with her when it comes to something like that, especially if you're going to bring her in. I think it would be great. I think honestly it would be tremendously great if they did that. But we'll have to see what they have planned for the movie, and if not, the potential series. But overall, I can't really say any more about Morgana than I've already have, and that others have already said about her. I mean, again, she's one of those characters that, because this show was a parody of superheroes, if you will, that she's basically the Selena Kyle, if you will, to Darkwing Duck's Drake Mallard. She's the Catwoman to Darkwing Duck's Batman, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, again, I can't say any more than what I have. But to me, I think honestly, if they bring her back, like I said, that you have to go all out with her. You have to really take it to the umpteenth level with this character. You have to have a moment. If it's a series, you have to have an episode in that series or a scene in the movie to where things get psychedelic and trippy, and all that. As I mentioned, to where it looks like the characters are changing into different things and everything. You got to go all out with her when it comes to something like that, to really show off what her powers are about. And you know what? Let's say it is a series. Let's say Darkwing Duck, the new one, becomes a series, and you want to probably incorporate or redo some episodes from the original. I would say, if you're going to do, let's say, a redoing of Slime OK, You're OK, then you need to have it be something on Morgana's behalf, I should say, that causes Gosalyn to be mutated temporarily into what she was in that episode in the new series, if it is indeed a series that we're getting, and then really go all out by having Morgana try to cure her, and then Morgana ends up temporarily becoming the same thing, and then maybe potentially you can have them both decide, okay, instead of having like, like in the original where Gosalyn's intelligence was dwindling into where she was just completely mindless and just was just a mindless slime creature and all that. Instead, I think what they could do, if they decided to do it that way, which I think again is a great usage of the character. You're giving Morgana more screen time in the new series, if it's again a new series that we're getting. I think honestly, like I said, you could have Gosalyn become a slime creature in this redo, this remake of the original episode, thanks to a mishap on Morgana's part. And then when Morgana tries to change her back, she accidentally gets turned into a slime creature as well. And I think what you should do to kind of really show that maybe, even though she made a mistake and there's a fault to it, that there is a positive. And I think that positive could be having both slime versions of Morgana and Gosalyn merged together into one, maybe kind of fused to where like they're speaking both at once. Not like fused minds or anything, but there's like a fused version of them, merged version of them, where they're speaking both at once and everything. The minds are linked to where they know what each other is thinking. And they do that to help Darkwing against maybe Bushroot or Nugaduck or whatever enemy they face in that episode. Again, if the new Darkwing Duck thing reboot is a series, and not a movie. But if it is a movie, like I said, you need to go the psychedelic trippy scene with Morgana if she's going to be involved. But overall, like I said, she's a great character, and I can't say any more than that. So let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. What are your thoughts on Morgana? From Darkwing Duck. Did you like the character? Did you feel that she was a good parody version of Selena Kyle? Well, basically was the Selena Kyle, the Catwoman, if you will, to Darkwing Duck's Batman, which, Darkwing Duck is in the series, as well as the Bruce Wayne Drake Mallard deal. Do you think she was a good fit? How did you feel about her? And how do you think they should bring her in? Do you think they should bring her in the way I mentioned and go all out like I brought up? And do you think if maybe they do a series down the line and we get, like, let's say a redo of an episode like Slime OK, You're OK, do you think maybe it should be, on her behalf by accident that Gosling gets affected, and then eventually she gets affected, and then we get what I mentioned. Let me know what your thoughts are about that down below. Again, let me know how you feel about the character. And that's going to do it, guys, for the 104th edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential on Morgana Macabre. Thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all later. God bless. Take care. Peace.